Those are cool.
We are live. Welcome everyone. We are excited to be here. We're going to go ahead and introduce the two hosts of the show. I'm just merely here just to say hello and get this party started. So we're going to go ahead and invite Jimmy Jam, Darren D-Roo to the show. Oh,
DJ, hi.
What up?
What's up? We are here. We're live. Welcome.
Thanks.
How are you?
We're good. We're so good. Happy
Good.
Friday.
Happy Friday.
Casual
made it.
Friday. James threw that out. Happy Casual Friday for us. We're just chilling out. This is fun.
Absolutely. So Darren, you take it away. You're here to lead this bad boy.
I think James was going to start us off today. He was going to share a little bit. James?
Yeah, last week we had a great show. I mean, we had Terry Nichols on the show, and it was a great introduction into what's possible when we start having conversations in business that are a little different than what we're used to. And, what I'm finding in the real estate world is things are moving fast. People are moving on fear. Nationally, we've got 30% less homes for sale than this time last year. And we'd love to change that. We'd like to change that fear into some knowledge. And like in our business, we loan to construction builders and we want a solid operator with a clear mind. And that leads us to today's host and today's guest, excuse me. Today's host is wonderful, of course, DJ. And, I met Krista Samimi through both DJ and Darren, and it's just a wonderful connection. I'm super excited for everybody to hear her story, hear about what she's up to. Darren, what would you like to add to that?
I think, Krista, we're really grateful you're here. James and I, so everybody understands, we invited you here because we both embarked on a whim to try your product because both of us struggle with depression in different ways. I have manic bipolar. And I'm new to that party, or new to knowing. I think the world knew I struggle with that. And so we caught your episode with DJ when you were explaining some of the things that you did to get better. And I was just willing to try something that wasn't a drug or some other thing. And so here we are. It's been a couple weeks and it's made some huge changes in James really quickly. I wouldn't say mine were like dramatic instantly, but I'm overall feeling a remarkable difference in how quickly I'm bouncing back from my sort of lows or brain fog, which is something that I've dealt with for many, many years. And so, first of all, thank you for going on DJ's show, being vulnerable and talking about your own issue of, I'll let you explain it, but you allowed me the opportunity to reach out to you, and that's why James is here. And now James and I are getting healthy together because you put yourself on the edge and talk to DJ in public like this. So first of all, you're bold, you're fearless, and we thank you. Tell us why you're here. Tell us who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. I just feel this like ripple effect, DJ reached out to me, went on the show, and like you said, you resonated with what I had to say on the show and how to take care of yourself for your mental health. But I'm here. I just feel so honored to be here because I feel like I have so many people to reach, and I just feel grateful that you're giving me this opportunity to share. So I'm in the mental health and wellness space, and specifically mental wellness. Like everybody has mental wellness. We're not necessarily talking about mental illness, but I have been on my own journey for 20 years with bipolar, and I've always used pharmaceuticals. And about a year and a half ago, when I was having lots of breakthrough symptoms and low energy and even some anxiety and some depression, I didn't want to even tell my psychiatrist that at the time because I knew he would just prescribe another medication. So like everything happens in divine time. And I started to learn about the science of what's called the gut-brain axis. So if you've heard of the gut-brain axis, drop some comments. If you haven't heard, it's really interesting science. And really our gut plays a pivotal role in our mental wellness, how we think, how we feel, all of that. You hear the phrases, trust your gut, or, if you're in a bad situation, you get those feelings in your gut, or the good feelings, like when you're in love and you get the butterflies. Like there really is a lot to be said about the gut. And the gut is constantly communicating back and forth to the brain via the axis called the gut-brain axis. And so what a lot of people don't realize is that most of our like happy hormones or happy like neurotransmitters, dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine, all of that is 90% is produced in the gut, not in the brain. So when your gut's out of balance, or it's also called the microbiome, when it's out of balance, you like you said, you might get depression, you might get anxiety, you don't feel right, you don't sleep right, your energy is low, all of these things. But when you like from a holistic perspective, when you do what D-Roo and James have done is taken a holistic approach and have literally got to the underlying cause and treating the gut-brain axis. So when you treat with unique supplements, it really helps to optimize your energy levels. You sleep better, you're in a better mood. And, I have so much experience in the pharmaceutical world, actually sold pharmaceuticals for 10 years. So it's kind of ironic now that I'm, in the supplement world. But these supplements have given me joy back, have given me stress resilience. They're basically do things that no pharmaceutical could do for me. So that's it in a nutshell.
Really quickly, a lot of people don't understand what it is like to have lifelong struggle with depression, or like they think bipolar or manic depression is like you're nuts, you're crazy, or you can't handle normal things, or you talk to yourself, all of these things. But the one thing you and I talked about was if we are slow enough and we are calm enough and we're taking better care, sleep was the number one thing you told me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then our gut stuff. And both of those things, I can't tell you I've been working on 100%.
Good.
Hardest things, but I've been trying to be disciplined to not do things late at night. That's like my creative hour. I can go for days if I start at midnight, but I don't allow it, and I'm feeling better. What other things, like, so for me, I journal and I meditate. If I'm feeling the fog, and not only do I break out of the fog, have you ever felt anything else in the past other than pharmaceuticals too, where you felt the fog and you tried a tool and it worked, but it wasn't long term, but it was a tool. It got you out of the house. It got you at least to the meeting, or, present.
Yeah, for sure. I know what you mean. I can get kind of going in the evening hours and creative and everything, but you're right. The sleep is so important. Anybody that has, sleep is important for anybody, but for bipolar, it's really important to have a regular sleep cycle. And that's really important. I always get 8 to 9 hours of sleep. In terms of like the brain fog, like my supplements help that, but like movement, whether that's just going for a walk or getting on my stationary bike, just breaking out in a dance party in the middle of the afternoon, like just moving my body, like helps clear the fog.
That's awesome. I'm not as good at that, getting out and moving all the time, but I agree with like the motion. Just kind of sometimes will get you out.
Yeah, I always heard the phrase motion moves emotion. So whether, you're feeling stuck, you've been maybe sitting at your desk for too long, it's just getting up and moving your body is so good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want to miss all these amazing people popping in. They're coming so fast. DJ, who's here?
I know we have like a
Hey,
bunch of
listen,
wonderful
hi.
beauty. I know, Juana. Welcome.
Hi.
I know, Jen, of course, she found us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jen, for coming and stopping by and joining our conversation. We have a LinkedIn user, Jambo. Welcome. Thank you for stopping. Karen Mulder, a friend from Hawaii, beautiful artist. Yes. And Miss Olga. Hello, Olga. We have her here. And of course, we have Gabriel. What's up, Gabe?
Awesome. Hey, if anybody in the comments wants to have any of your questions answered by Krista, or me or James. Again, James and
We have a question.
Oh, who's this?
Well,
Yeah.
Karen asks, how about getting in nature, taking a walk every day?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's key. And the one thing I'd like to point out is that when I reached out directly, phone call with Krista, it was just great because she's the kind of person you can just have such a relatable conversation. It just puts you at ease, kind of walks you through exactly what she's talked about here. Get into more specifics. I was able to walk her through my past. Not a lot of people know this about me, but I don't hide behind it at all. But I haven't drank in 3 years, and people ask me all the time, "Oh, you must feel amazing, James. You haven't had a drink in 3 years." And I quit cold turkey. I just quit. And I never really felt like that fog had lifted. And that's what Chris and I talked about. And, I just encourage anybody who's tried to hang something up, but still feels like, oh, because I hung this up, I should feel better. If that doesn't happen, don't get discouraged. I'm a prime example of what can be possible if you just keep pushing forward. And that was what I was most joyful about, and had actually sent a text to Krista saying, I just can't believe my clarity. And, my clarity and my moments where I'd find myself angrier quicker over meaningless things was really frustrating me. And now I find myself getting just as discouraged by the little things, but my downtime is just like, it's like I dropped a penny and I stopped and picked it up. That's about how long I stay there versus staying there and getting stuck. And so, it's just things like that. And it's, everybody has to experience that on their own. It's not the purpose of the show, but it's also important to share. That's
Absolutely.
really it. So I think that, walking through those experiences can help it be more relatable to some of the people on the show today. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and sometimes you don't even realize that you have brain fog or your mind isn't as clear as it could be. Some people, you don't have to have anxiety, depression to work on your gut brain axis. Like literally, for me, my experience, when I started optimizing the gut brain axis, it was like putting on glasses for the first time where you're like, oh, it's supposed to be clear like this. You just kind of get used to how you are. But yeah, there's so much more mental focus and clarity that comes with that.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, Krista, I keep feeling like tomorrow is not going to be as crystal clear. And I get like, oh no, this is too good.
I know. I remember that text that you sent me. You're like, I feel so good. I'm afraid it's not going to last.
Yeah. And it has. And to be perfectly honest, I've had a couple really down days, really down, and just couldn't shake it. And like Jen said, do you go for a walk? Like I went in the woods, I journaled, I played guitar, I did all the things, and I just couldn't get this fog gone. and just the low feeling, right? I wasn't like stewing about thoughts. It was just like low. And when that hit and the next day I woke up and still felt it, I was like, all right, it was a good run. But later in the day, I took my supplement and I could feel it going away as the day went on yesterday. And then when I woke up today, I haven't felt this well in a long time. And like on the sobriety side of things, like I don't drink and I've been through rehab and that, and I don't use pharmaceuticals because they just don't work well in this system ever. And so I use medical marijuana and CBDs 4 times with the depression and the anxiety. But what I've noticed is with this, I actually don't want to use it because I didn't ever use it and feel like a buzz. I wasn't trying for that, but I noticed that it gives me a fog, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't want that. And so I've been like really not wanting to use it unless my arm is really flared up. I'm recovering from an injury, and I feel like that's what it's for. But what happens is people in depression, like James or myself, we go to whatever will kind of solve the problem so we can go to work and do the next thing. And now with the way the world looks, and a lot of people go, well, I'm not drinking, I'm jumping to medical marijuana, or I'm using CBDs. But I want the world to know, like, that's also a suppressant. It's like it can be helpful if you use it right, but this way feels gentler. I don't feel like I'm adding. I don't feel like I'm looking for anything around 3 o'clock, or if I have a bad situation, I'm like, oh, what do I'm starting to go, okay, I feel the stress. It's just stress, and this is temporary. And then I breathe, get it a minute, and then I'm feeling I can bounce back without having to go to something.
I just want to go ahead. Karen asked about sleeping, and I know we talked a little bit about this right at the beginning, but we did talk about how important it is. So if you want to just reiterate how important sleep is, aside from like the natural supplements for Karen, yes, definitely more than 5 to 6 hours.
That ain't enough.
Yeah. And I mean, good quality sleep. I mean, if you're not getting like, deep REM sleep, then you can go to sleep for 8 hours and sometimes not feel refreshed. But yeah, I mean, our bodies are designed to sleep when it's dark and wake and, get up with the sun. So
get your sleep, Karen.
I battle sleep too, Karen. I get what I call it creative insomnia. And it's like not necessarily a negative thing, but so I DJ and I produce music, and like the house is quiet at that hour, and I can go for days and sounds and exploring. But what I realized is if I choose to go that path, I can do it for a minute, and then it takes me a week, 5 days, 4 days to get back to normal. And that creativeness, although I love it, and it actually feels like a drug, because it's like my brain is just popping and things are coming. I'm actually making something, and I'm like, wow, I love this. But what happens is there's nothing left for anybody else in my life. And so I've had to start to pay attention and not get creative if it's too late in the day. Like I can play guitar, but don't write a song. Stop trying. So I run James's online business here, and it's really easy to jump on your phone and just connect and grow his business, because I can do that anywhere in my house. And it seems relaxing from the outside. It is not relaxing. I have to calm myself down prior to bed. I have to wake up in the morning, and I calm myself in the morning before I go to work, before I do one thing. I go calm for an hour, and so I try to bookend my days with calm. That's me. And so Karen, that's what I'm doing. Maybe that would help if you could look at your evening and maybe say, there's some things that aren't setting me up for 8 hours. I'm setting myself up for 5 or 6. Like maybe I do it to myself.
Those windows. Yeah, those windows are important. I mean, I think that the one thing I've experienced in the past and why these conversations are so important is, and I do have a question for Krista too, but in good business starts with a strong mental health. I mean, all too often we can't just say, I want to go out and run a successful business. Entrepreneurship, and that's what I work with day in and day out, is a never-ending job. I mean, you're doing so many things. You can't really let up. You don't get the time off. You need to manage your time. And all too often, life will start taking off on us in areas that will affect our business. And if we don't catch it, it can have a huge impact. I mean, I've experienced that with clients and had to walk them through that. And so, Krista, I mean, to that point, what would you say to somebody who was curious about something like this and just said, I just want to have a conversation? What's the best way to explain an introduction to this type of health into these supplements? Just a nice, gentle presentation. How do you approach that with people?
Well, everybody, the different people come to me. Really, I like to, sit down with somebody on the phone or on Zoom and understand where they're at and find out, is it their sleep that really needs work? Is it their energy levels? Do they just get really tired at 3 p.m? What's that? Oh,
Nope,
find out. I always like to find out what's going on, right? Because everybody's a little bit different. But then I just take the holistic approach. We have a line of supplements that's specifically for the gut-brain axis. So we have a product for the brain that's really helps with focus and clarity and getting rid of the fog. And then we have a product for the gut that is literally healing you from the inside out. And by that, I mean, it's literally getting rid of a line of supplements that's specifically for the gut brain. Oops.
Nope, just
I was
feedback.
hearing myself. Yeah. And then we have, for the gut too. So in your industry, and you're talking to a lot of people, James, that are under a lot of stress, that is something that can be worked on. And the supplements work to modulate cortisol levels, which is just, your stress. So I can help people lower their stress. And then the product for the access is basically helping your gut communicate with your brain. So all of those neurotransmitters are being transferred up to your brain so that you think more clearly, you feel more energized, you get better sleep. So I really just like to, sit down with somebody, understand where they're at. And then we talk about different areas that we can even work even a little bit more on. Like for you, it was sleep. And so we added the product that helps your body produce its own melatonin.
Yeah. Yeah, which is interesting because I've never had good experience with over-the-counter melatonin, and so I can't. It was refreshing to try that product, and it was incredible how gentle that was without that grogginess the next day. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And I can speak from my own experience. That's exactly what you did with me. We went right down to specifics about my situation, my past, and kind of what I continue to feel. And, it's never discouraged me from pushing forward, but I also stay real sharp on course correction. And I know when I'm off, and Darren and I have those conversations a lot. And I can't tell you what that's done for me. So that's great. And definitely an impact. So wonderful. It's a great conversation because again, once we get ourselves in check and we get in order, now we can lead our companies into success. And now more than ever, people are so fearful because of the past. They're so fearful of the future because of what's happening in the real estate business. It's just nobody has a baseline for this. And again, I see conversations like this, things that you're doing, Krista, that helps change that mindset. It's been an incredible 14, 15 months for everyone in this world. It's the days aren't necessarily getting clearer. So it's important that we start with ourselves rather than looking for hope elsewhere, because
absolutely,
that's exactly what people are trying to do. That's a natural progression. I do it. But that is just something that's boxing the wind, as we say. I mean, that's just not we're not in control of that, but we can control where we start and how we can make impacts in other people's lives. So And that's what you're doing. That's why we wanted you on here today. And, you know, I'm sure Darren would agree. I just encourage people to reach out. Just reach out to
absolutely.
you and have a conversation. And DJ, was there any questions or anything else that we could discuss here today to help people?
Yeah, let me go ahead and get off mute. We got one really good question, and I know we've been leaving the audience in suspense.
We have. It's on purpose. Yeah.
What is the supplement? What is the supplement that we all take, that we all love? I've taken it too. You know what? Let me pop myself in the window. I don't normally do this. But yes, I've also taken the supplement. And it's really good. When Krista was on my show, she introduced me to it. She was so generous to send lovely care packages as a thank you. And it's really helped me as well with the brain fog, the focus. And I'm already tend to be a generally focused person. But I could tell when I had those days, those lags, I was like, I need to take my supplement. I need it. So, and then I just ended up ordering more. So I do appreciate. Yeah, I do appreciate. But let me go ahead and bring Krista in. She can answer that.
So the supplements that we're referring to, I call them my magic 3. It's called the fundamentals. And it's 3 products. So it's meant to focus, meant to sync. And I think DJ is sharing that link. They can check out the website, but it's called the fundamentals is the name of the product.
And so people know they can reach out directly to Krista.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Like, I'm happy to share my website link, but I really like to just meet one-on-one for 15, 20 minutes to understand, you know, what your goals are for your mental wellness, so that I can give you recommendations that will work well for you.
Yeah, and it's wonderful. And the other thing that we talked about, Krista, which is so important, is that consistency is key. So we talked about the fact that it's, and I always go right back to business. I always think, well, like in marketing, if I just throw something out there for a couple of days and it doesn't work, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. And so talk a little bit about that. Talk a little bit about
absolutely.
people. Yeah.
So I always have to get, you know, your stamp of approval that you will commit to it for 90 days, right? And I as I told D-Roo and James, is that you're going to see results in the first week, if not the first couple of days. But because it's for your gut, you're healing your gut. There could be a lot of bad bacteria in there that's interrupting your overall health. So I always say the 90 days. And this is very deep advice, but if you don't take it consistently, it's not going to work. So, you know, I have clients have been on it and, I forgot to take it for a few days while I was out of town. Well, no wonder you're feeling a little bit off, you know? So definitely consistency and committing to a 90-day trial.
Great.
How about this, Krista, with, so for myself, when I had that dip 2 days ago where I was down, would I take more of the supplement? Should I have reached back out to you and got something else, or do you just kind of ride it out and know that now it's just a process and it's probably only a couple days?
Yeah. So, you know, we all have those days. Like, not every day is sunshine and roses. So really identifying what it is. Like, if you were feeling like anxious and fidgety or couldn't sleep good or something like that, we can always add on to the fundamentals. So the fundamentals is the core supplement package that's going to work on your gut-brain axis. And then, for instance, James needed a little extra boost when it came to sleep. So we added Sleep Plus. So for you, that's what I think we were talking earlier. I would think would want to add, it's called Mood Plus. And that could help you balance out your mood, it's basically an all natural antidepressant, anti-anxiety. So there's definitely, you know, the core supplements, and then we have lots of add-ons that can accelerate your progress.
Is that's the clarity one also for like mood and clarity you were mentioning? What's the name of that one?
Mood Plus. Or I'll put it in the chat.
So those act as a boost on top of that baseline, right? Is that the baseline
so
product?
I call them accelerator products. So like
Gotcha.
I'm drinking my Energy Plus. So I take the fundamentals, but like for my afternoon energy, I take that. It's a
Nice.
matcha green tea, and you just put it in 8 ounces of water, and it gives you mental focus and mental energy.
Excellent.
I
Excellent.
want to try that Mood Plus, I think.
Yeah, that's good.
Is that what
That's
I'm
good.
taking?
You're taking Energy Plus, DJ.
I don't know if I need more energy.
She's got energy, but yeah, it's good. Well, I can't tell you how much we appreciate everything today, Krista. I mean, it's
Thank you so
impactful.
much.
It ties back into business. I think all too often we don't get a chance to have these kind of conversations with clients, but when I see those opportunities, I love them, because I know that that's where a lot of the meaningful relationships that we have in our business are tied to conversations like this, and guys that understand, individuals understand they can reach out to you for just about anything and for advice. And there's not enough of that. And if that's something that we can provide to people on top of, in our case, loaning construction money, it's great, but we can also bring a lot more to the table by just being a shoulder for them or an ear for them, because everybody has those highs and lows, and they need a place to bring that to. So can't tell you how much we appreciate your time.
Everybody has mental wellness.
Yeah.
Like, everyone has mental wellness.
Yeah. It's great. Wonderful.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
we got a wrap. We're at 31, almost 32 minutes.
Hey, it's great.
So we'll look for comments. Everybody reach out to Krista directly. Reach out to James. Reach out to me, Darren, D-Roo, Sprinkle. Reach out to DJ for production questions.
Yep.
And maybe we just need to do this in a couple more weeks so people can see what a month does and then 90 days. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes, let's do it.
That'd be great.
Thank you, Krista.
Thanks, Krista. Thanks, DJ.
Great time. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Great work.
Great Friday. So
It's good stuff.
this is what we do. All right. I guess we'll
Great.
just say our goodbyes to everyone. Bye, everyone.
Bye, folks.